Good evening, everyone. Tonight's webinar topic is allergies and how to take charge of that, presented by Advanced Biological Concepts, and your presenter this evening is Kendra Halfter. We're going to briefly go over some of the allergy responses, and generally how those come about is either if a horse has ingested something, inhaled something, or the skin has come into contact with something. So at the top two is what I get the most when people call in for assistance. We have respiratory or heaves, raised lumps on the skin or hives. We have coughing, tearing eyes, nasal discharge, assortment of responses, and then another big one is flaky skin, scabs, oozing sores, itching, rubbing, and responses to insect bites. When it comes to the skin, there are a lot of symptoms and they can be very unique. Allergies may take months or years to develop, and you may get an allergy response as something being the needle that broke the camel's back per se. So the last response, or the response that you're seeing now, may or may not be the initial problem. So sometimes a little bit difficult to find out what the horse is actually responding to. Allergies are a little bit difficult, and we need to take some time experimenting and trying different things with some horses, but most of the time when we address it through diet, we get pretty good success. Also, a horse that has never been allergic can develop a sudden allergy with absolutely no warning. Some of the allergens that horses can respond to, I have a couple of lists here. Bacteria, fungus, parasites, we mentioned insects, diet, drugs, and medications, sometimes the environment, dewormers, vaccines, plants, and some horses even sunlight. This is just kind of an overview of what happens in the body when it's responding to an allergen. I'm not really going to go through this, but I just want you to see how complex the body responds to an allergen. In a more simple way, the immune system reacts to a foreign invader, or what we just discussed, an allergen. Then the immune system attacks with a range of cells and chemicals because it is considered a foreign invader to the body. It's responding to get rid of this. Chemicals are released and produce inflammation and the ensuing symptoms, whatever it's going to be for that particular horse. So here's some things that we're going to address. First of all, you want to fix obvious causes. If there's environmental issues, dust, if the horse is in the stall all the time and you have a sand or a dusty environment in that stall that the horse is certainly going to respond to. You might have teary eyes or coughing in that type of environment. Some horses respond to chemical fly sprays, whether they're pumped on or if they are sprayed throughout the entire barn. You may just need to do a little experimenting when it comes to the environment, and hopefully it's just something that simple. If it's not, then we're going to follow these steps, and we're going to address digestion, hydration, a topic that I call take out the trash. We're going to look at deworming vaccinations, discuss detoxification and tools for healing, and of course to provide the horse symptom relief, but it's not our goal. Our goal is to get to the bottom of it, what's causing it, but obviously we need to provide the horse some symptom relief and some comfort. So we're going to talk about digestion and hydration first. Digestion, 60% of the lymph tissue or the immunity surrounds the digestive tract. And it's in the digestive tract that is the main juncture to foreign substance exposure. And we've discussed a lot of times before leaky gut syndrome and dysbiosis. Digestive disturbance or inflammation, especially over long term, can certainly lead to nutritional imbalances, and when that happens, we lose our tools to heal. Immunity and digestion walk hand in hand, and when we start with addressing digestion and increasing its capability and healing that gut, it's a very easy place to start, and is as a byproduct supporting immunity. The tools I will use is ABCs Plus and ProBi, and I may use ProBi for just like a 14-day period. I'll incorporate ABCs Plus into the diet, usually at the aged horse dose of 8 ounces, and I may do that for a 30-day period and then reduce that back to a maintenance level. And some clients call in and they've discovered through either some type of blood work or through the veterinarian that the horse may have an allergic reaction to oats or maybe something else that might be in the ABCs Plus. I will still use ABCs Plus because the benefits of the diet of the ABCs Plus in creating a digestive environment that's going to help us through this allergy, that proponent is so much greater than the horse actually responding to the minimal amount of oats that is in 4 to 8 ounces a day. Some people, if they're really concerned, we can use the ProBi as an alternative. But time and time again, I find that the ABCs Plus will reap benefits that will reach beyond any allergic reaction. And very rarely, and it just doesn't occur. I have not seen anybody respond to any of the oats that are in the ABCs Plus or anything else that's in that. Hydration. Many times we overlook the most obvious detox aid, and that's water. Nothing supports the body's cleansing and elimination processes like water. Water is so important to horses with allergies, and sometimes it's even the water that may be causing some of the allergies, especially if we're on city water where we have chlorine in that. And that's a very simple thing to take care of with adding a activated charcoal filter to the system, or letting the water be set outside if it's a sunny day. That will dispense the chlorine that's in the water. But horses know that they need to use water to rid the body of allergens. So we need to address digestion and then, of course, their hydration levels. If a horse is not drinking as much as it should be, it's going to make the process of detoxification more difficult. I found this quote, and I think it's very pertinent to this situation. It says, "Cast thyself into the enfolding arms of the angel of water, for she shall cast out from thee all that is unclean and evil." This is the Dead Sea Scrolls in the 3rd century. Even back then, they realized how important water was in the healing process for the body for all sorts of things. So this step is taking out the trash. So I generally will remove processed foods from the diet, review labels on that product and see if there would be any possible allergens to that. 10% of the horses out there are allergic to the preservatives and molasses, and generally that can be propylene glycol, which is another term for antifreeze. So I won't use anything with molasses in it. Chemical preservatives are another thing that horses can be responsive to and create an allergy response. So I just want to steer away from anything that would be a byproduct or a chemical preservative or something that could possibly be an allergen. So I'll review the labels, and then we'll discuss if the horse really needs to be on a food beyond hay. If we can maintain that horse's caloric requirements in order to maintain that horse's weight and body condition with just hay and water, some supplements, then that's what we'll do. That's the simplest thing to do, and it's going to help us heal that digestive tract much simpler. If we need to go beyond just hay and water to meet a horse's requirements, then that's when I will include fats into the diet. Fats heal and line the digestive system. I use that a lot even with ulcer cases. Fat is just high in antioxidants if we're looking at especially vitamin E, which is so good for healing the digestive tract. But you want to use unprocessed oils, so either flax seed, you can use flax meal, black oil sunflower seeds, or black oil or black sunflower seed oil, olive oil, hemp. Any of those things are really good, and it doesn't take a whole lot to maintain the caloric requirements for a horse. Okay. Then we'll also remove unneeded supplements, and again we'll review the ingredient list and see if there's anything that the horse may be responding to, and if we really need the supplement or not. We try and remove anything from the diet that could be a causative, and we want to get the diet back to a very simple diet that the horse is really meant to have. If a horse is already responding to an allergen, their body is already saying that it's had enough. This is the last straw. My body is going to try and get rid of this, whatever it is. And so if we can remove anything from the diet that's going to be causing the body additional stress that it doesn't need, then we'll certainly do that. Deworming. Parasites, it's a difficult one, and many times it can really be the cause of allergens because it's so disruptive to the digestive system and to the immune system, because it's the immune system that is supposed to be keeping parasites in check. If we have a horse that's responding to an allergen, we know that the immune system is already compromised, so we know that the body is not handling parasite levels as well as it possibly could be. The goal is, while a horse is responsive to an allergen, to not chemically deworm. We want to heal the digestive system. We do not want to cause any additional stress to the body. They have to go through a detoxification when you're using a chemical dewormer. We want to reduce stress here, and so the last thing we want to do is use a chemical dewormer. So we will incorporate NOMS, which is our parasite preventative product, and we will monitor parasite levels through fecal exams. We know that it's not completely conclusive as to really what the parasite levels are, but it gives us an idea of where the animal is right now, and if we do need to really address parasite levels, and is that really the cause in this situation. The NOMS works really well in helping us get to a point where we can get the horse healed, move beyond that, and at a later date maybe move into a regimen, especially if we're working with a horse in a boarding situation, something like that. But NOMS is what we'll use, and it's a daily, and you'll monitor with fecal exams, and if you keep like an Excel spreadsheet on that, after several years, I've kept it on my horses for the last 15, 16 years, you will see how the horse's immune system changes with the fluctuation of the parasite levels. You can learn so much by charting some of this stuff for your horse. Another thing is vaccines. We'll try and not also incorporate a vaccine or administer a vaccine to a horse at this time, because that's going to stress the immune system. So we'll use homeopathy in this particular case, and those are called nosodes, and nosodes can be, vaccine specific. So there's actually a West Nile nosode and so on down the line. Now we do not carry those. You will want to work with, if you can, a local alternative veterinarian, or there are several out there that are starting to offer nosodes. And when they first came out, or when I was first introduced to nosodes, it was maybe 5 to 7 years ago, and West Nile was really becoming a concern. And I did have a couple of ponds on my ranch, So I started utilizing the West Nile no-sode. And I did so for probably 5 years in a row. And then for whatever reason, I think that particular year, I was traveling a lot. And then to have somebody administer a homeopathic remedy, if you're familiar with that at all, it takes several days in a row, and then you're going to skip a couple days, and etc. So I think I foregone doing that year because it was too complex for somebody to take care of the horses. And it was unfortunate because I did have one of my horses contract West Nile virus, and I almost lost him. But with the HEAL regimen and protocol, we got him through it, and he's doing really great now. I believe wholeheartedly in no-sodes after that experience. Continuing taking out the trash, horses that are responding to allergens are generally toxic on a toxic overload. So the detoxification process will include these organs of the body or these systems of the body. The liver, which is the horse's largest gland, acts as the main filter for toxins in the body. The kidneys eliminate toxins that the liver filters. The lymphatic system, which we discussed earlier, how it so walks hand in hand with the digestive system, works closely with the blood to release toxins. It will also fight inflammation and enhance the ability to sweat. Sweating is another way of a horse being able to rid the body of toxins. The skin is the largest organ of the body. It communicates with the internal and external environments, and the skin also reflects the health of the horse inside and out. If we do have a skin response to an allergen and it continues to present itself, we know that there's something going on inside the body. The skin is a dumping ground for the horse, and so you can see flaking or dandruff sometimes, and those might be a precursor to a more severe allergy response down the road. And the condition of the hair will also indicate the health of the horse. If you have just a kind of a sporadic, long hair in specific areas, or it's not shiny, we need to start addressing that because we know that we have a health concern with this horse, and it could end up with an allergen response on the skin at a later date. When it comes to the detoxification process, the tool that I'll use in our product line is called MOP. And for some reason I can't get it. Here we go. MOP. And I will not use MOP without ABC+. You need digestive support when you're going through a detoxification, especially with horses' sensitive digestive system. They can get a queasy stomach or just not feel that great when they're going through a detoxification process. And if you've ever gone through a detox yourself, you know it's not fun. The MOP contains bentonites and clays. They're not digested or absorbed in the digestive tract. They bind positively to charge toxins and absorb them. And once they become hydrated in the digestive system, they become like a sponge and expand. Toxins are attracted to that sponge magnetically, and then when that is drained from the body, it will also take the toxins, which is bound to it at multiple surfaces, out of the body. Clays and bentonites can also bind free oxygen in the bloodstream. If you have excess of this, it can cause cellular damage. It also increases T cell counts. This is critical to the body's defense. And T cells are in the lymphatic system again. And the MOP also has several herbals in it to support detoxification processes. Tools and comfort. We want to provide the animal, once we remove all those things and take out the trash, we want to put in positive things or tools for healing. Vitamins and mineral deficiencies or imbalances. This is a key player in the regulation of inflammatory responses inside the body, but also the skin. Vitamins and minerals are very important tools for healing. I use the Rush Creek vitamin and mineral supplement for this. It is a complete vitamin and mineral supplement minus salt and selenium. It's offered free choice, and when we have an animal who is responsive to an allergen, where we know that there is digestive disturbance and a compromised immunity, those horses will need extra vitamins and minerals beyond NRC requirements. So that's why I like to free choice, because really nobody knows where that horse is at internally. Their vitamin and mineral requirements are going to be excessive beyond just body maintenance. They need to go on top of that, the additional stress or nutrients needed to heal. I will use sometimes spirulina, kelp, and both of those are in the ABC's blue-green algae, and there's been a lot of research out there to be supportive of algae in respiratory issues. So we can use that in heaves. And ABC oxidants, vitamin C and vitamin E, both of those reduce free radical damage, and free radicals will destroy healthy cells, which can lead to age and disease. I'll be honest, when I don't want to pull out a bunch of processed foods and pull out a bunch of unneeded supplements, I generally will always start out with the ABCs Plus and the Rush Creek Mineral before I will do anything as far as algae or any additional oxidants. I want to keep the diet very, very simple. Symptom relief, we obviously need to provide the animals some symptom relief, and a veterinarian may be involved at this time, but we cannot forget that our goal is to find out what the initial cause is here. So we may use herbals. I like, when it comes to respiratory, I like Hilton's Herbs Freeway. I also like silver lining herbs. You can also try herbal fly sprays. And if we're addressing parasites or flying predators in the area, you can use a company called Arbico, and they will help you create an environment around your barn and your pastures with reduced flies and other insects like that. You can find them on the internet, and they're a lot more knowledgeable in getting that, helping you do that with your own facility. We can use homeopathy, and of course at this particular time we may be using medications because we need to get that horse comfortable, or if we have a respiratory condition, that can certainly be a dangerous situation. So we will have the veterinarian obviously involved before we can take on any of these other processes. In summary, I apologize. I am working out of the office today because we're in the midst of a very serious winter storm, so bear with us. Just in summary, ABCs Plus for digestion and immunity, hydration. Want to make sure that we have white salt available, and if you want to use a mineral salt, you can use Redmond salt or Himalayan salt licks, but steer away from those salt blocks. If I need to work on additional hydration or need to incorporate an electrolyte into a horse's diet because we do not have good quality water, or we cannot get that water or that horse to drink as much as it should, I'll incorporate the ions into the diet. We're going to take out the trash, and then we're going to put in good stuff, tools for repair, and we need to keep out the trash, obviously. So we're going to use the NOMS for parasite control, and we're going to use no-sodes for vaccines if we need to do that. We're going to detoxify the body, and you can use the mop 3 or 4 times annually just to keep the horse ahead of any allergic response. If we have a history of a horse being allergic to things, we know that if we can stay on a regimen of detoxification, that will certainly help down the long run. And it can be anything that can cause the immunity stress. It could be a lot of traveling. It can be even those things that you would not simply think about on a regular case. You think it's something maybe coming external. However, it can be an internal process. And then if needed, we'll add additional immune support and provide the animal some comfort. So I want to thank you for joining us this evening. Please keep in mind that many diseases, if diagnosed and treated early, can and will heal on their own. And when it comes to allergies, inappropriate treatment can interfere with the healing process. If we're working with scratches or skin ailments, washing and scrubbing and trying all these shampoos that are it can be very destructive to the skin cells, and that is just the last thing that we really want to do. The body is trying to heal itself by dumping toxins through the skin. We can help it along with some washing occasionally, but we just really want to be careful. So discuss early with your veterinarian or your health consultant or nutritionist if you're beginning to see some responses to allergens. And I hope that this seminar or this webinar will support or empower you to overcome allergies, and so that's why I included this little cartoon. Thank you again, and if you have any questions, please type those in and I can address those. You can also reach me at the office with any additional questions that you may have, and that number is 1-800-373-5971. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for being here tonight. Bye-bye.